UAB week, great to be back home. Had a really good rivalry win last week against Middle Tennessee, but I know our guys are excited to be back. Expecting a great atmosphere, expecting a great game. A lot of things going on campus, and this is what you want college football to be. You know, I think everybody's anticipating a really good matchup. UAB is a really good football team. They make you earn everything you get. You know, there's no easy way with them. If you make a play, you earn it on all three phases. So they're doing a great job. It should be a very competitive game, but a game we're all excited to get going with. So that said, questions.
Coach, you always say Tuesday's Tuesday, Wednesday's Wednesday. Where this is a Friday game, is a Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah. Monday's as normal week, but just Monday's a Tuesday. So we'll be, full gear going after each other like a Tuesday.
When you look at UAB, their running game is really good. Had well over 200 yards last game, a couple 100-yard rushers, including a quarterback. What challenges does that present in that regard? You guys get a little extra juiced up where you guys put such a big emphasis on stopping the run?
Well, Coach Vincent's a really good play caller. So he's going to take what you give him. If you load the box and stop the run, he's going to throw it over your head. So you got to be disciplined in all phases. First thing is try to stop the run. They're going to win the game, run the football. Both those running backs are spectacular. The offensive line is very, very physical. Quarterback does a great job managing the game, and then Coach Vincent, the play caller, does a nice job of picking his spots and making plays when he needs to make them. And so this is definitely a challenge for our defense for sure, but you got to stop the run first, and then when the shots come, you hold your breath and hope you match up with them.
Coach, kind of a big week to not have a slow start offensively. Last week you guys started with the home one, you took a few drives to get going. How important is it this week to come out swinging?
I think it's critical because possessions are going to be very limited. They're a football team that's on average you might get 11 possessions on average. So we got to be able to play good defense, get the ball back to our offense, and then we got to make the most of our opportunities. So every possession is critical for us for sure, but we can't get off to a slow start. Turnovers will be key in this game for sure. So it's one of those games where you have to do everything right. You're not going to get away with a turnover here, a turnover there, a missed assignment. I thought offensively last week we did some really good things, but we shot ourselves in the foot here and there, had turnovers, just was sloppy, Now with that said, we still put up a lot of yards and move the football, but against a really good defense like UAB, like I said, they're going to make you earn everything you get. So we got to hit on all cylinders offensively and play sharp for sure.
And Coach, when it comes down to it, this is one of the toughest games of the year, as you said, and there's plenty that goes into a short week. How important is it to have this game at home?
Well, yeah, it's great to have it at home. When you play a tough game like this, you want the home field advantage. I know our fans will be out there and showing up and showing out, but yeah, it's great to have this game at home for sure. Any advantage that you can have against a really good opponent like them, you want to take advantage of.
Kai and Helton both left the game early on Saturday. Do you have an update on their status?
Kai should be fine. He's going through that mid-season. When you're a running back, you're going to get dinged up, but I'm sure by Friday he'll be good. And then Upton, I haven't heard back yet. We'll have to see. They were looking at him. He was meeting with the doctor today. I'll let you know probably later in the week on that one.
Sticking with some of those guys on defensively, had a really good game. Did a little bit of everything for you guys. Kind of going back to last year, how much have you seen him improve, from his first game up until this last Saturday, where he kind of led you guys on the sense?
Yeah, he's made a ton of improvement. He's becoming the player that we thought he would become. Coach Summers is doing a great job of utilizing his talents. He's not just a good cover guy. We're sending him on corner blitzes, and he's making TFLs and he's a big physical guy, and so I think Coach Summers has done a great job of utilizing his talents, and he's enjoying playing in that scheme. He understands it well. He'll have a great test this week. They got some talented receivers that can take the top end off of it, and so he's going to have to be a physical guy and stop the run. Then he's going to have to match up and try to prevent him from getting the shot as well.
The last time UAB played here, it seemed like it was kind of a turning point in the program. Struggled a little bit earlier in that season, but after that game, started reeling off, stacking up some wins. How much did you see that as kind of an important win for this program, to get to where it's at now?
Well, I think, you make a good point back then. Yeah, it was a turning point. They were, and still are, one of the leaders in this league. If you want to go make a conference run, it goes through UAB, it goes through UTSA, and I do think there's a lot of parity this year in the conference. I think of a North Texas and a Rice and an FAU, and everybody's playing hard, and playing good. So, but back then, yeah, it did a lot for us. Now, the current season, it's more the mindset of if you want to make a conference run, you're going to have to beat UAB. They're not going to give you anything, and they're kind of like us. We both had a conference loss. We both know what's at stake. We're both highly competitive teams, so. It's a big game for sure.
Does it almost feel like a must-win for you guys?
I don't ever say must-win, no, because there's a lot of football left to be played. But you'd like to be in the driver's seat. Let me say that, and so we'd like to stay in the driver's seat if we can do that.
I know you talked about Coach Vincent a little bit. He's a guy from around this area originally. Early cut his teeth coaching high school football in Alabama. When you were back at UAB, how familiar were you with him, and what do you remember about some of the high school programs that he had put together?
Yeah, no, I've known Coach Vincent a long time. He was the offense coordinator at Spain Park when I first came to UAB. Didn't know a lot about the state. He was a guy that was very open with me about telling me where to go and what schools to hit, and so was Bill Clark. When I met Bill Clark was at Prattville, and he was the same way. And Coach Vincent's always done a great job. He's deserving of everything that he's gotten over the years. He's doing a really good job with the current team. He's got a tough job. For Coach to retire right there before the season, and then now you're taking over a team and you're the play caller and all those things. He's doing a really good job. But it's who he is. He's a guy that wants that challenge and wants to be in that seat, and. I would expect nothing less from what he's done so far, and I know he'll have his guys ready to play against us for sure.
Going back to your days at UAB before again, you also coached with Coach Summers there. I believe that was the first time you guys had coached together. What do you remember about coaching with him at that point? I think was your dad there too?
Yeah, we were all there together.
Yeah, what do you remember about those days with him, and how good is it to kind of be with these guys again?
First of all, it's great to be back with Coach Summers. It's funny how the good Lord works, and he's smarter than I am, as far as, Coach Summers originally came here as the safety co-D coordinator, and, I was wanting to have his input and his style of play with what we were doing, and then, Coach Crumley's a fabulous football coach, and good Lord said, I'm going to do you one better. This man needs to be leading your defense altogether. And so he's done a fantastic job. But the biggest thing about Coach Summers when we were at UAB was also the special teams coordinator. And so I think we practiced more special teams than we did offense and defense. Somehow he got in the head coach's ear, and he had an hour of special teams every day, and so now I'm coaching quarterbacks, and quarterback play is about 11 on 11, so I'm doing individual drills for an hour. Finally I just tell my guys, take a knee, we'll wait till Coach Summers' practice is over. But he's a fabulous football coach, very successful, been in a lot of arenas, and his expertise is really paying off here for us this season for sure.